Orokin vaults. I have done a guide on this a long time ago, but I wanted to do a revisited guide on this farm as it is a very profitable farm for a beginner and even as a veteran in Warframe. So in this guide, we are going to go over everything you need to know and how to take you from a beginner all the way to a pro. The first portion of this video will be for the baby tenors or just for people who can't remember how to do the farm. If you would like to learn how to do this farm at max efficiency and make the most amount of platinum, then skip to the timestamp in this video. Firstly, what is Orokin vaults? These are vaults that are found in the Deimos sector. When you run these missions, you will find these fancy looking vaults. You really can't miss it. They are pretty easy to spot. And what do you get from these vaults? These bad boys right here have corrupted mods, arguably some of the most important mods to have in Warframe and also great mods to sell for platinum. You should by now know what corrupted mods are, but for those of you that don't, these are mods that have a positive and a negative. However, these vaults are locked and require dragon keys. Dragon keys are obtained through your clan dojo. When you head over to the Orokin lab, you will see the blueprints for the 4 dragon keys. Get these blueprints, then head over to your foundry and craft them. But there is a but here though. Each key has a debuff. Hobbled gives you minus 75% movement speed, Decaying gives you minus 75% shields, Bleeding gives you minus 75% health, and Extinguished gives you minus 75% damage. And when you run these missions, the vault will require any one of these keys to open. Of course, this is random, so you will never know which one it requires. You will need to craft these keys and equip them in your gear wheel when you run these missions to unlock the vaults. Now, what mission should you do? There are 2 specifically. The first one is Horrend. This is a capture mission and the easiest mission to do as a beginner and even as a veteran. I would advise doing capture if your sole purpose is to farm corrupted mods, whether that's mods for yourself or selling them for platinum. Then you can do this mission over here. I'm not even going to try and say the name. The reason we run Exterminate is because there is a chance that less rooms spawn. However, after my own testing, I found the tileset to be a bit different and there are a few elevators that slow you down. But I would suggest doing Exterminate with the build I will suggest later on in the video because it can be a very good resource farm. But wait, before you get excited, equip your keys and hop right in, we need to discuss something first. There are 2 main ways of farming these vaults. The first way is through a group. What does this entail? You either pre-make a group with a group of friends, or you head over to the recruitment chat and assemble a group of people who want to farm the Orokin vaults for corrupted mods. Once you've got a full squad, each of you will decide which key you want to hold. You will then hop in, and then you will just go straight in and start farming them. This is the favorable method as you will only have 1 debuff because there are 4 keys and 1 key for each player, obviously. Plus, this means you will have 4 people looking for the vault instead of just you. However, sometimes people just don't want to farm the mods and you can't find a squad. So you're going to have to take matters into your own hands and do it yourself. That leads us to option 2, farming it solo. Now this is where the main focus of this video will be, giving you the tools to do this method fast, easy, all while being alone. However, doing it solo is a little bit more tricky because that means that you will have to equip all 4 keys and have all 4 debuffs on you. And that is not so kind. Not to worry though, let us discuss how we can do this, my good tenor. But first, if you would leave a like on this video, it goes a long way for me, thank you so much. I will first explain the beginner frames that you can use for those of you who are new to the game. I have done a full guide for beginners on this farm, but I wanted to elaborate more in this video. The best beginner frames to use for this method is Rhino. Because of his iron skin, he can easily glide through tanking all the damage and you don't have to stress with him at all. Plus, what makes him so great is iron skin will ignore the Hobble Dragon Key's effect once the brief invulnerability is done. Then you can run Neja with his shield as well, although there will be the odd occasions that you can die because it is only 90% damage reduction and not a full damage mitigation ability. Also, Neja's slide with his passive helps with the Hobble Dragon Key. Or you can run Volt if you are feeling ballsy, but just beware you may die a few times. All you'll need to do is stack some sprint speed and a lot of efficiency so that you can cast your speed ability and have your shield up at all times. Remember, the hobbled key reduces your movement speed by 75%. However, the hobbled key does not affect slides and bullet jump maneuvers, so you can actually just realistically play any frame you want and constantly bullet jump to move at a decent speed. A slight spoiler warning for those of you who are new to the game and have not finished the War Within questline. If you have not completed that quest, then skip over the segment. When you get your operator, you have access to void dashing. This can be used to get you through the map really quickly as keys don't affect operators. For me personally, I'd just suggest using Rhino until we get to the better frame I will discuss later on in this video. When it comes to the weapons to rid the target from existence, you can honestly just use anything. All you have to do is stack as much flat damage as possible with some fire rate and crit. That should suffice as the enemies are only level 12 to 14 here. So you've chosen your frames, ready with your weapons. Now, do not forget to equip the keys. I can't tell you how many times I've forgotten and it sucks. So if you are going solo, remember to equip all the keys because the vault only requires one of the 4 keys, but you don't know which one it will be, which is why you need to carry all 4. Or 1 if you have a group with everyone having their own unique key. Now let's hop into her end. As you load in, make sure to cast your abilities to keep you alive for whichever frame that you are running. Here I'm showcasing Rhino, so I will cast Iron Skin. Now you need to search every room in the map to find the vault. They like to hide quite well, but as you play these missions you will learn where the spawns are. It's important to check every room, even the starter room, before capturing the target and finishing the objective, and then every room after you capture the target. Make sure to capture the target before he gets away, and then you can just ignore all the enemies and peacefully search for the vault. To make your life a little bit easier, I'm going to show you some spawn locations for the rooms. The first room over here, the circular room, will generally have a vault underneath right over here. The next room will be a spawn room, and there will be a vault right here in spawn. Another spawn location will be right at extraction towards the end. There will be a vault just to the left. Another spawn location will be on these corridors. These vaults spawn often here. Here is another corridor spawn location. And in this big room with all these trees going around, there will be a vault hiding just underneath this little staircase over here. This one is quite a tricky one and often people miss it. Then you will get these rooms that take you all the way through. It's a little bit spirally and it goes around everything, but all the way at the end, there will be a vault spawn here. There is another vault location with the same spirally type of room. This is a very important one. This is the big giant room with all the trees everywhere, and there is a vault that spawns right there. Often people miss it. It's always important to check this spot over here. There are other locations. I just didn't show all of them because then I would have to hope for RNG that I will get every location. My best advice is just keep running the missions and you will start to learn all the locations. These are just a few spawn locations that I've shown just to make your life a little bit easier as you start playing the missions to look out for a few rooms. There will be some missions where you simply just missed it or can't find it because it is hidden somewhere. My advice is just don't waddle around, just extract and redo the mission. Remember to keep crafting your keys and make sure you have all 4 equipped. I'm saying that often because I don't want you to make that mistake. And that is pretty much how to do this as a beginner. It's that simple. Now, how do we level this farm up? Go from a beginner to a pro. It's simple. Once you have farmed some mods, started getting some duplicates, sell them and make some platinum. Make sure you always keep at least 1 copy of the mod and then sell the duplicates for platinum. After you have made some platinum, get Titania Prime. I'm not sure how much a Prime set costs right now, just check Warframe.market, but Titania is the fastest Warframe in the game, no doubt, because of her 4th ability, which is Razor Wing. It turns you into a little pixie and allows you to fly around in an Arcwing. Titania has an augment called Razor Wing Blitz. This makes Titania the fastest frame in the game. Every time you cast an ability in Razor Wing form, it increases your movement speed and fire rate, and it stacks up 4 times. This speed is actually sometimes just too much. People actually use the Hobble Dragon key because she is just that fast, which makes her the best frame to do this farm to get platinum quickly. Her exalted weapons, the Dex Pixiers, can shred the enemies even with the Extinguished Dragon key. Use this frame and you will do this farm really easily. You can pretty much do these missions in around 1 to 2 minutes each and just zoom straight through. When it comes to the build, if you are a newer player, consider putting about 1 to 2 Former in Titania and using Razorwing Blitz the augment. A mod called Preparation, and then go for a lot of efficiency and duration for the base build, which will have no helmet. For her pistols, just mod for flat damage, fire rate, and crit damage and crit chance. Her pistols will deal more than enough damage to the target with just Hornet Strike and a bit of crit. When you get your hands on the helmet segment, you can consider subsuming Null Star, which is Nova's helmet, and use the Neutron Star augment. With this build, you just spam Null Star like crazy in Razorwing form to kill your enemies. If you are in Steel Part, use Archon Vitality to double proc the heat procs from Neutron Star. Otherwise, just add some more strength here or duration, whichever one you have available. What makes this so amazing is the fact that Null Star breaks crates, which means that you can just passively loot and farm your way as you kill enemies. This is good for when you are running Exterminate. It's a great way to get Orokin cells and mutagen samples. It is a very, very good farm. You can also use the Thermal Sunder version, but Gauss is a lot harder to farm and Thermal Sunder does not break crates. Nova is also a lot easier to farm and subsume. As you do these missions, you will get faster at farming corrupted mods. When done at max efficiency, it still competes with later game platinum farms. It's also great to just aimlessly farm corrupted mods, slap on some series or a movie on your second monitor if you have one, and just enjoy. Another thing is, in terms of prices of each mod, it's best to just price check each of the mods on Warframe.market and then begin to slowly but surely learn the prices. These mods are always in high demand and sell fast. They don't sell in high amounts of platinum, but they sell quickly. And that is the video. There isn't much more to say. That is how to farm Orokin vaults as a noob all the way to a veteran. It's really that simple. There isn't really a better frame to do this farm other than Titania, and because she is so fast, it's easy to run these missions solo. If you are a beginner, my advice is get your hands on Titania as fast as you can after you've gotten Rhino, and mod her pistols, as she will come in handy for many more things like relic running, speed running missions. She is honestly the greatest speedrunner in Warframe. And that is Orokin Vaults simplified, straight to the point. Have fun farming. I hope this guide helped. Let me know in the comments below if you farm these mods and how you would go about it. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you all in the next one.